So I think this is the year for the Knicks to win the championship, man. The New York Knicks is having an unbelievable postseason. I don't know everybody's talking about Wemby and OKC, but this is why I think the New York Knicks can win the championship. Because two players are putting this team on their back, whether they're blowing teams out or whether they need to come back from behind. And that's Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby. Jalen Brunson will not let this team lose. And it was some good free agents that came through there that they didn't get, like James Harden. LeBron James didn't go there. They missed out on Donovan Mitchell. And then they got Jalen Brunson, and they was like, Jalen Brunson? Nah. But Jalen Brunson has been putting the city on its back. Jalen Brunson is playing better than anybody in this NBA playoffs, not named Victor Wembanyama. He's better. He's played better than Anthony Edwards. He's played better than LeBron James. He's been playing better than um, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's been playing better than Donovan Mitchell, Paolo Banchero. Only person, Cade Cunningham. He's even been playing better than Cade Cunningham, and Cade Cunningham had a few big games, and they were the number one seed. What makes this Knicks team so special is the sacrifices. Carl Anthony Towns was a third team All Pro, averaging 23, getting 25, 12, sometimes 40 points in his real big games. He's getting 12 points, 13 points, but he's also snagging 12 to 15 rebounds, making those sacrifices. And Mikal Bridges struggled earlier, but Mikal Bridges is there for defense. His offense has, come to fruition. And not only can the Knicks win at home, they can win on the road. Okay, you can sneak one. We coming back and grabbing two more on your court. And they're not just winning on your court, they're blowing people out. They blew the Hawks out by 50. And let's not forget about the bench. Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. Miles McBride hitting timely threes. Against Cleveland in the comeback, Shamet hit three threes that they needed to push them into overtime. And then New York just ran away with it in overtime. So you got to watch out for the New York Knicks. Now, OK City is in a tight series with San Antonio. But I feel like if the Knicks can have a rematch with the Spurs, they can beat San Antonio because that four-guard lineup in Wemby closing out, you can't do that to the Knicks like you did to OKC because the Knicks is too big. You can go Pat at the four, who will draw Wemby out because he can hit threes. And you got Mitchell Robinson at the five. Then you got the three, Mikal Bridges, and then you got OJ Anunoby, who's athletic, and then you got Jalen Brunson. You don't even need to finish with Josh Hart, but you'll probably finish with you know, Josh Hart during the clutch, like less than 2 minutes, because you don't want them to play that hacker Mitch Rob. But that Mitch Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns can do work against the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs is too small for the Knicks. And who else in the NBA got four good perimeter defenders? Four. You got at least three. Who else got three great perimeter defenders? You got Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. And then number four on the board, you got Mitch Robinson. We know Wemby is something, but Cat can produce some problems too. So he's just sacrificing in this Mike Brown system. But I feel like the Knicks can beat the Spurs. I feel like they can beat the OKC Thunder because of their experience and what they've been through all this season. Like they beat Atlanta in six, swept Philly, and Philly was a team that won in 7 games against Boston, who's the number two seed. A lot of people thought Boston was going to go to the NBA Finals this year, and Philly whooped them, and the Knicks end up sweeping them. So do not sleep on the New York Knicks. I feel like if the Knicks don't win it this year, they'll have to probably make a trade and try to get Giannis, but we know that's not happening. And shout out to Jalen Brunson because he's putting the team on his back. Like I said, the Knicks fans was like, we have to settle for Jalen Brunson. Now they love Jalen Brunson. He had 38, helped them come from behind against the Cavs when they were down by 22. So I'm going out on a limb saying this right now. The New York Knicks will win the 2026 NBA Finals. So it looked like we got a series in OKC and San Antonio. You know, San Antonio dominated them in the regular season. Won what, 4 out of 5 games. After game one, they won 5 out of their last 6, and they could not do anything with Wembanyama. Wembanyama was the youngest player to record a 40-point, 20-point, no, a 40-point, 20 rebound game. Had blocks included. Like every time OKC was trying to pull away or stay in it, it was Wemby that got his team back in the game. And Wemby is a force multiplier. He's disrupting everything. Like in game one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander only had like 24. And when you look at Wemby contesting shots, even when he was under the basket, if someone was shooting the three, Wemby would still jump in the air like he was just 1 foot away from him or 2 inches away from him. Like Wemby is jumping from half court trying to block 3-pointers. And then you had Castle. Stephen Castle was locking SGA up. Couldn't do anything with Castle the first game. And one thing that San Antonio took advantage of the OKC's big lineup was the 4-guard center lineup with Wemby, Castle, Champagnie, Vassell, and Dylan Harper. That's 4 twos. You can say Castle was a point guard when, Fox wasn't in. So they end up defeating, OKC and OT, and people thought it was over for OKC. But OKC had a secret weapon that they unleashed. The 2020 former Laker and NBA champion, Alex Caruso. It seemed like he calmed the newer guys on the young roster down with J-Dub just coming back. Caruso was able to score 30 points. That is crazy. Game 2, he had like 17. This was a guy that was barely getting any run during the regular season because OKC is so deep. One game you'll have Case and Wallace come off the bench and score 10 or 14. Another game it could be Isaiah Joe. So you never know who it's going to be out of the role players to step up. AJ Mitchell was huge in the Lakers series. But the first 2 games of the series, it was Alex Caruso being that guy that glued everything together. Like Chet Holmgren disappeared in game 1. Game 2, he was somewhat effective. He wasn't irrelevant. He wasn't the Chet we wanted to see. But Wembanyama is just a problem. And the Spurs is a bad matchup for the OKC Thunder. Now, game 2, I would admit, San Antonio was hurt playing that, 4-guard, 1-center lineup with Wemby, Castle, Vassell, Dylan Harper, and Champagnie. Dylan Harper was hurt, so Dylan Harper went back to the locker room and didn't return. So they had Keldon Johnson in there, and Keldon Johnson was not used to, closing out games. Although he was not defensive player, he was the 6th man of the year. He's not used to closing out games. So that lineup, it was kind of a monkey wrench in the game. They had a three guards and Wemby, but OKC was able to adjust because they were getting a lot of offensive rebounds towards the end of the game. And that's what set OKC to be able to win game 1 and not fall 0-2. Because if they would have went 0-2, OKC would have got swept. But now I want to see if OKC can go into San Antonio to win games. Just like San Antonio proving that they were able to go win games on the road. If OKC can take 1 out of 2, OKC got a chance to repeat and go to the finals. If they let San Antonio go back home and win 2 straight, it's all over. We're going to get a gentleman's sweep. So we're going to see if OKC has a heart of the champion by seeing if they can steal 1 in San Antonio. Because I feel like San Antonio will have that confidence of them already beating, OKC 5-7. So going back to OKC down 3-1, that would be a major deficit to overcome for OKC. So, yeah, like Wembanyama, SGA, like I said before, I feel like the person that's playing the best basketball in these playoffs besides SGA is Jalen Brunson. But SGA did have 30, you know what I mean? So maybe he's finding his way and making adjustments to get points. But I can see why OKC has problems with San Antonio now. Because if they're not hitting threes, they depend on a lot of mid-range and driving to the hole. And what Wemby back there, people are even scared to get their shot blocked. You know how some people are scared to get posterized? Like, people are altering their shots. They're not even trying to go into Wemby's body. They're so scared of, getting their shot blocked. They're like alternating their own shots where Wemby is nowhere near them, but they fear that block shot. They hear them imaginary footsteps, and then they end up missing layups. So that's how I know Wemby is an X factor in this series. So Wemby was also mad that he didn't get MVP either. So they gave Shea that MVP, and Wemby went off. Now, they was able to slow Wemby down game 2. He only had like 21. He didn't have to 40, but he still made some timely shots and had his team right back in the game. I'm just excited. I think this series, the fans wanted to go 7, but I really think the Spurs can mess around and get a gentleman's sweep. We'll see. I want it to go 7.
Oh my goodness! Stephon Castle! Welcome to this earth! Oh my goodness!
You can see it a mile away, Reg. You get that launching pad.
Hits Harden side. Joe from the corner. Over the outstretched 2 arms of Wembanyama. Kept alive by McCain. Castle down. McCain fires and hits. Early here in the 4th.
Oh my goodness.
Is that a tangle or a pull?
That's a pull.
Okay.
That's a pull.
Harper guarded by Lynch Caruso. Wemby beat him inside, threw it down with a foul.
And having
Caruso takes Wemby out, dances him, fades on him. Got it again! First timeout. No.
Once again, the Cavs, man. For the past 3 years, the Cavs have been looked at as a major NBA title contender. But they just don't have the heart. Now, you bring in James Harden, who's an MVP, scoring leader, and people was like, okay, James Harden is going to have a reduced role. He was still averaging 19, 20 points. And Donovan Mitchell, the Spider, was going to really break through. Now, we all thought the Knicks was probably going to mess around and sweep the Cavs anyway, because the Cavs just had a hard-fought series with Detroit, but end up blowing Detroit out in Game 7. So, the Knicks and Cavs are going back and forth. It's not tied at halftime. I think the Cavs end up having a lead. And, they have a 22-point lead in the 4th quarter. Going into the 4th quarter, Donovan Mitchell has 26 points. You know how much points Donovan Mitchell, or how many points Donovan Mitchell finished with? 29. He only had 3 points in the 4th quarter in overtime. This is a complete joke, just choke job. James Harden was terrible. I think he only had like 4 or 5 field goals. This is what James Harden does in the playoffs. And Cleveland wants to say, okay, we said that we'll extend James Harden's contract. You cannot do that. You have to move on, man. Like, I feel like this is not going to work out. James Harden needs to go. I mean, Cleveland needs Giannis. Cleveland might need an older LeBron just to have some mentorship and some leadership, because they have no leadership on that team. Donovan Mitchell is not going to do it. James Harden was not going to do it. You expected James Harden to calm things down, and he's known to choke in the playoffs? It's ridiculous. I'm surprised they got past Detroit, which is a young team, I would admit. I mean, Donovan Mitchell and James Harden are, savvy vets. But for them to have a collapse like that in Madison Square Garden, that's the type of shit that gets you swept. Game 2 is, I feel sorry for the Cavs, man. Now, the Knicks, they might smell blood already because they see the Cavs don't have heart. So somebody's going to have to step up, man, because this is getting ridiculous. Giannis is a free agent. Maybe Giannis can come over there and put him in the hump, but you would have to get rid of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen and some first-round picks to get him. You're not going to be able to keep keep them if you don't keep James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. What I would do is get rid of James Harden, don't re-sign him, try to trade for Giannis, give up Jalen Tyson, try to keep both Evan Mobley and, you know, and Jared Allen. But I don't know if Milwaukee will go for that. I think they would want some players. Even if you can finagle James Harden, get him out of there. Because two players that, you know, aren't good in the playoffs, I mean, they don't need to be on the same team, bro. Because you're depending on James Harden to make plays at the end of the game, and you're depending on Donovan Mitchell. Both prove that they, you know, fall short in the playoffs. It's just been like that. So I feel bad for Cavs fans because I was